So I let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart flow into the hearts, into the ears of God's people. I've been doing mental health Mondays since that day. I didn't know it would turn into a actual podcast. I literally also welcome in this space. I have set the privacy to public so everybody can be a part of this conversation. Listen, tonight, tonight, we have the bougie boundaries therapist, okay? Listen, you ain't just gonna talk to her any kind of way. You ain't just gonna be in her space any kind of way. And she gonna help us tonight too. You can't let people treat you any kind of way. And so we're gonna talk about relationships, social connections, and boundaries. Um, I don't know if you struggle with boundaries. If you haven't, do you even know what boundaries are? All those things will be answered tonight. So go ahead, share this live, check in with your green hearts so that we will know that you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the light room. Welcome to the light room. I'm absolutely excited. I'm happy every second and fourth Monday. I get to put on my red lipstick and I get to come in this space and I get to see you. You get to see me, but I get to see your comments. And I love it, right? Welcome to the Light Room. I am Coach Quita D. If this is your first time, I hope it is not your last time. In the Light Room, we have 3 value points. We educate, we empower, and we equip the Black and Brown communities with the knowledge, skills, tools, and resources to advocate for your mental health. Listen, it's real simple. It's real simple. But what's hard is you don't know how to put the simple things together. That's why the Light Room exists to bring such people in to help you navigate the simple things so that you can be healthy, you can be whole, you can be healed. You can have healthy relationships, healthy community, because you have healthy boundaries. All right. Go ahead and share this live with your family and your friends. Put it in your Facebook groups, your friend groups, wherever people are that need this information. So you can see me now. We're not going to have the same unfortunate mistake we made last time. Okay. We're here. You can see me. I can see your comments. So with that, drop a green heart so that I know you are here. All right. Remember, you can give stars to support the live, and the replays will be available on YouTube. So if you're not here live to get that question answered tonight, when we post it on YouTube, you can answer it. You can ask your question in the comments there. But there's nothing like alive and in living color. And listen, I'm telling y'all, you get access to people at no cost in the Light Room that you don't always get access to. Okay. And then when you do get access, there's a cost. But I got you, right? I got you. I am your community resource. I'm your virtual resource. So I get these people in the Light Room. I don't want to be the only one talking to them. So come on in. Hey, Jamil, come on in. Bring your, listen, it's going to be live. It's going to be live at 5. We got Jamil Matthews in the Light Room. Okay. Share this live with your family and your friends. She's already in the green room. We've already started having this conversation. I'm going to bring her to the stage. I don't want you to miss it. If you have questions, drop your questions in the comment section. We will highlight your questions and we will get those questions answered. But tonight, we're talking about relationships, social connections, and boundaries. Y'all ready? Ready. Drop a green heart if you're ready. Let me see how many green hearts. I need to know you're ready. Okay. Drop your green heart so I will know that you're here. I will know that you are ready. Okay. Share this live. Share this live. Share this live. We're here. Bougie boundaries tonight, baby. We bougie with the boundaries tonight. Step on in here. Step on in the Light Room. So I'm going to bring her up so that we can get this conversation started. All right. And I don't want you to miss it. Share the live. There we are. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I'm here. I'm here. Checking in. Checking in.
See, that's it. Same. Welcome to the Light Room. I am absolutely excited that you were able to be a part of this conversation, that I could fit your good schedule, and we are finally here in the Light Room. I don't take it lightly that you're here, and I appreciate you making space and making time to have this conversation with us tonight. So
Thank
the
you
way
so much.
You're welcome. So the way it happens in the light room, I introduce the guest the way that I know the guest, and then I allow you to introduce yourself the way that you feel led to introduce yourself. You can tell them
Okay.
as little or as much as you like.
Okay.
So just like many other guests, right? I'm always on social media lurking because I really can't tell you how we got connected for real, but it doesn't matter, right? So we met
Mm-hmm.
on the social media space. She's from Memphis. Y'all know I came here from Memphis. And so watching her page, right? Just her mindset about life and about herself. And I think what probably attracted me most to you is just the way you've learned to take care of yourself and how expressive
Mm-hmm.
you are about yourself. Like I used to be
Mm-hmm.
shy, and sometimes I still can be. But the boldness that I've seen in your content, in your posts, and your approach to therapy and just to life, I'm like, yep, I'm setting me some bougie boundaries too. Okay. So I've stayed connected, like followed your content, eat and listen. I want to do the headstand, and you may have been my encouragement for that too.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to that place where I'm doing that handstand, man. And I see that
Mm-hmm.
you yoga, the handstand, all the things. So that's how I know you. That's how I'll be lurking on your page. That's how we're connected. And that's why you're in the light room. So
Thank
welcome.
you. Good. I often wonder what other people think or what other people see, just to see if my intentions come across. And that's exactly what it is. Like, as I share my growth and I share what I'm learning, because I would have these conversations privately and more people would want to know about it. So I was like, let me just go ahead and push myself past the uncomfortableness and just be willing to share. Um, and if I can't help you, at least we can have a laugh. And I also learned that people don't really want to hear about therapy, because they don't really understand what that means, but they want to hear about life skills and coping skills. And so I can't really talk about what my clients deal with, but I can kind of use my personal experiences and people close to me as a way to help people see, like, even though people think that they're just watching content, if you make one change from something that somebody said online, like, you're rewiring your brain. So that's what I love to do. So thank you for having me. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I'm a psychotherapist. And I love talking about all things boundaries, because when you realize your true value, it should be a luxury for people to have access to you.
Let me go ahead and make that a banner. Keep talking, girl. We hear you. It should be a luxury for people to have access to you. Listen, make note, guys, a mental note, and write it down. And it should be.
Hmm.
Trying to find my banners. Licensed clinical social worker. Listen, she already came through the door with fire. Let me gather myself. Okay. Let me gather myself and pace myself for this awesome conversation we're getting ready to have. We're already having, right? This conversation we're already having. And I love what you said, like the whole therapy thing. And
Hmm.
unless you've gone to school for it or studied it some type of way, like, again, what is therapy? What is that for? The whole fix me, all these things is the ideology a lot of people have about therapy. But life
Yeah.
skills, that
Hmm.
is a very good way to put it, life skills, because that's what you should walk away with anyway when you go to
Hmm.
therapy. And so boundaries, a life skill for you. So again, all things boundaries. Tell
Hmm.
us more about boundaries.
So, most of the people that I see are high overachievers. They are the strong friend, the plug, the liaison, the caregiver, the hustler. Like, they are the all knowing for people that are connected to them. And when we're younger, it's cool because it's a part of your value. It's a part of, it's cool to be the plug. But as we get older, we get tired of having to feel obligated to emotionally care for other people at our own expense. And as kids, we learn that as coping skills. We learn how to anticipate other people's needs. But when we get older, We get so stuck in maintaining security and safety and anticipating other people's needs that we don't learn how to feel in real time. And because we don't learn how to feel, we get to overwhelm and burnout and emotional exhaust often and regularly until we learn how to get out of the cycle of that. And the only thing that really helps us get out of the cycle of that is learning how you feel. Because people will gaslight us into how we should feel because we don't know how to feel.
I'm glad you gave a pause there. And I want, because I want to go, how do you feel? And how do you feel? Mm-hmm. Not like Happy said,
First,
like, how do you really um, feel your feelings?
mm-hmm.
That is a
Yeah,
struggle for a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. The first thing is expanding your emotional vocabulary to be able to have other ways to express how you feel. So in my office, I use the feelings wheel. I also have them start to look up other feelings that may not even be up there because you're not jealous. You feel left out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, those come with two different things. But it can appear to be jealous, but you don't know how to say I'm angry with you because I felt left out.
Mm.
And it changes the dynamics of the relationship because you go just a little bit lower, with vulnerability. So if you made me feel left out, are you going to be like, well, I really didn't want you to come anyway? Or I'm sorry that you felt that way. That wasn't my intentions. So you can tell if the person wants to care for you emotionally. And so that's really the first way that you start to feel, expanding your vocation, your emotional vocabulary. People know
That's
mad, happy, sad, upset in some kind of way.
some kind of way. They even made a song about it. Make you feel some
Right?
type of way. Made a song about it. Shout out to Rich Homie.
But my some type of way and your some type of way could be two completely different things.
Absolutely.
um so knowing your feelings and being able to name them, and then also like giving yourself permission to question it in real time. Why do I feel left out? And am I okay with feeling left out? Did I even really want to go? Or was I just mad that they didn't acknowledge me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is this what we call doing the work, because just hearing and that process sometimes runs me low, but it's a necessary process. I'm like, girl, what? But you have to. One, so you can be fair to yourself, and two, so you can be fair to the other person. Because you get all
Mhm.
upset and you didn't even want to go.
Right. Had no intentions anyway.
No, it didn't. It's just you should have just asked me anyway. You still want to be asked.
But so those are two, and then another one I would say is if you're really in tune and trying to see how you feel, like take a couple of deep breaths in and see if you feel any activation in your body anywhere when you think about this situation.
Expand your emotional vocabulary. Ask yourself those questions when you're feeling what you're feeling. And then take a deep breath and see if you still feel the same way after you've taken that deep breath. Feel your feelings.
I
Listen.
can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Did you lose audio?
I'm gonna leave out and come back in.
Okay. Hold tight. Hold tight. Listen, guys, you're already getting strategy. You're already getting good notes. You're already getting things that you can walk away with. So go ahead and share this live. There are feelings beyond happy, sad, mad, jealous. Just the way she just walked through that process of not of saying I felt left out versus I feel jealous. That's two different things. That is two different things. So boundaries, relationships, social connections. There's some work that has to be done on your part so that you can be fair to yourself and to the other person. This is a prime example of how to feel your feelings. And I was very intentional about asking her to break that down because, again, there are some people that I know, and at one point it was including myself, that did not know how to feel your feelings. And so your feelings are, and they say your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. But what are my feelings? What am I truly, truly feeling to make sure that, I'm having a valid feeling? So walk through that process. Feel your feelings. What we have here. Understand your emotions is the key. Absolutely. Come on. Come on, mental health professionals. Understanding your emotions is key. So we'll bring it back. There we go.
I'm so sorry. My
No, you
alarm went
good.
off on my phone telling me to wind down, and it turned my volume off.
My okay, I canceled. I don't think I have it today. Mine will do that at 7 p.m. 10:30 p.m. till 7 a.m. So I feel you. It turns gray and dark and everything for the very same reason, sleep time. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. I'm glad you let us go past your wind down time. Yeah. So we were just wrapping up that last part about feeling your feelings. And I was just, saying, one, thank you for walking through what that looks like to feel your feelings, because a lot of people don't know how. A lot of people don't know how. So that inner rage gets the best of people because you won't take a deep breath. You won't actually break down what it is you're feeling. You're not angry. Feeling left out. They
Yeah.
didn't ask you. You weren't invited. So that's why you're
Yeah.
going through the whole rage and the whole anger and wanting to break something, because most times I'm tired of being left out, or I'm tired of feeling left out. So
Right.
that's really what that anger is. You continue to feel left out. And then walk through what that really looks like. So cool. And then Kanisha said, understanding your emotions is the key. People don't really want to talk about emotions. Some people don't be thinking, they was like, oh, you too emotional, or you need to, what they say, emotional, we'll talk about emotional intelligence too, because that's almost becoming as big of a cliche as narcissism was. But
yeah,
people like, you just too emotional and all of that. But she says, understand your emotions is the key. Why? Why is it the key? Understanding your emotions.
You asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding your emotions is key because our feelings are, to me, our feelings are our intuition. Your intuition is connected to God's will and alignment for your life. And so, we get caught up in, checking boxes and doing the things that we know we need to do, but not giving yourself permission to feel means that you're not giving yourself permission to understand your emotions. So you could be out of alignment. You could always be out of alignment. And then understanding your feelings and emotions helps you know how to manage and nurture them so you don't give other people permission to push your buttons.
Puts you back in control of your own situation.
Right.
So
Right.
y'all stop suppressing and stop brushing off them emotions, because you're losing
Understanding
control.
your emotions determines your entire quality of life.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm gonna leave you with a question while I write that in a banner, right? Understanding your emotions. Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Understanding your emotions affects your entire quality of life.
Affects your entire quality of life. Y'all understand them, not just be living in them or be faking them, because you don't understand what they really are, but you have to. And it does. It affects your entire quality of life. Dr. Keeley said, instinct, intuition, and discernment. All three
Yeah.
are necessary.
Yeah. Right. Those are all connected to our feelings.
And I know for me, that was one thing. I used to cry because they used to tease me and say I was like my mama, like I was a crybaby, I was sensitive. And as a younger person, I didn't really understand that. So I didn't want to be sensitive. Like I wanted to be tough. I wanted to not feel. Then I grew up, right? And then I got a better understanding. I thank God that I can feel, because you're right. That is when the Holy Spirit says something to me, and I know what I know is because I can feel that, and not just like the like the cliche emotional feel like I like it.
Like,
There's a
it
way.
wasn't you.
I know.
I know this is not me, because I wouldn't say this to myself.
There you go. And so shutting yourself down, shutting your feelings off, it disconnects you from what you need the
Right.
most. That intuition, like she said, that instinct, that discernment. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't really live successfully like that. Or you'll have to be led by somebody else's instinct, discernment, and intuition, because you've shut yours down.
Well, and
So
some people, they do live like that, but they don't understand why they don't feel happiness. They don't understand why they can't experience certain emotions, but it's because they haven't given themselves permission to feel, or they know if they do feel, their entire life is gonna have to change.
if I
It's
do
not
feel,
convenient for me to feel.
a lot of men will say that. A
Hmm.
lot of black, and I'm gonna say black men. A lot of black men will say that they don't have the luxury of feeling, or they don't have time for that. Um, and if we
Happiness
put,
is not something that's important to me.
mhm. And if we put that in the place with boundaries, like what would you say to a black man about creating boundaries that would allow them to feel and still walk in their, manhood and livelihood and everything else that they need to do?
Boundaries are desires and expectations that you have for yourself. They are the standard of operation or the rules of engagement for somebody to do life with you in this season of your life. And over time, we create these boundaries in our head, these do's and don'ts, but we never really take the time to write them out. Because things you may have wanted 10 years ago, you may not even really want that anymore. It's just kind of how you've always been, or what you've always thought, or that's what my dad suggested. And so, some of those things may no longer serve you, but if you haven't taken the time to like take inventory or audit them, then you're going to be all over the place. You don't even know what your boundaries are. And boundaries are just expectations, and you being willing to express those with people so they can know what it takes to actually be able to do life with you. It's not so you can keep them out. It's so because I want to keep you in. That's why the boundary is there.
And I was going to follow up with saying, people say, well, if you put expectation, that's how you get disappointed.
Right. But you are already disappointed because you're trying not to be disappointed. And so instead of avoiding disappointment, you just learn how to manage it. Because disappointment is a part of life.
It is. It is. It
Saying you're
has
not
to be.
disappointed don't mean you still not disappointed. You're still sad that it didn't happen.
Yeah. And that's okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a moment to feel your feelings, like to feel disappointed, like to feel what that
Yeah.
feels like.
Right. So I'm disappointed. Okay. I'm disappointed that this person didn't do what I wanted them to do. Okay. Did they have the capacity? Did they have the time? Did they want to? Giving yourself permission to explore those other questions, because you gonna be disappointed sometimes.
And sometimes you'll be the one causing the disappointment. It's just the way it is.
Right. And
That's the
so
way it is.
you've got to know what your baseline is so people can know where they stand.
And so the boundaries are essentially more for you. Like you said,
Yes.
it's not the wall, it's the gate. All right. I'll let you in here now. This is how we operate in here. Versus the wall is like, nope, don't even come in here. I don't want you over here. I don't want you messing up nothing. Then you're disappointed that nobody's there, because how do they get in? Because you put up a wall instead of a gate.
Right.
And so with that, we'll go into the social connections. And one of the reasons that this series is Relationships 2025.
Mm-hmm.
For the past few years on social media, men need to do this, women need to do that. Everybody want to date outside of their race, but they don't want to date at all. I'm just gonna be single for the relationships were going this way, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't like people. I don't want to be around people. I just, even down to the point of working from home. Like, people prefer to work from home just so they don't have to go to the office and be around other people. So do you think that, the lack of boundaries could be part of why they wanted to socially disconnect?
Oh yeah. So, people who struggle with saying what their boundaries are and enforcing them would much rather avoid conflict than have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I used to think that it was cool for me to say, I don't like conflict. I avoid conflict. I'm non-confrontational. I'm not going to deal with any conflict if I don't have to. As if that meant that I'm like above everybody else.
Been there.
But it was really because I don't really know how and I'm scared, but I don't want to tell anybody that.
Right, right.
Because what if I say I'm not okay with that and then they don't want to have anything to do with me anymore? Or because I know the relationship is transactional, I have to go along with some things that I'm not comfortable with. Even if that just means that I have to go along with what my parent says or what my parent does because they're helping me pay for something.
Mm. So you think that, oh, going to the parent-child relationship, right? Because some people like to shy away from the fact that a lot of things that people deal with in their adult life started in childhood. Like, again, the struggle with the healing places that we're coming in is that everything is becoming so cliche and
Yep.
so watered down. So, like childhood trauma or just trauma in general. But that's your baseline. That is where you learn how to operate in a lot of spaces. And
Right.
so, if you don't get that opportunity, because sometimes you don't get the opportunity in childhood. Like, especially in the Black community, you do what they tell you and that's it. Don't ask no questions.
Hmm.
You can't even ask God questions. Like, instead
Hmm.
of, and the difference between being jealous and being left out, like they say, you don't question God, as if you can't ask God questions. Two different
Right.
things.
Right. Right.
Two different things. And so, yeah, so we just learn to avoid altogether because, the voice has been silenced
Hmm.
all from a young age,
Yeah.
and so,
And then for some of us, we assume that any conflict leads to worst case scenario.
yeah,
So I'd rather avoid that as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, what can people do to start building more? So, so wait a minute. Let's just go here to toxic relationships, right? What is a toxic relationship?
So one of the things that I like to use in therapy and in therapeutic conversations is the dictionary. Because they taught us definitions of words in like the second, third grade, but at some point we stopped looking at the definitions and we started kind of trusting what it means to us or what it might mean to our community or what somebody else told us it might mean, but you don't really know the real definition
No,
of
really
it.
don't feel.
So I looked up the definition of the word toxic and it means poisonous. So I guess that a toxic relationship is a relationship that's poisonous to one or both people in the relationship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so, people around here in poisonous situations,
Willingly.
willingly in poisonous and hazardous and toxic situations.
Hmm.
And so, what does that do? Like, for boundaries, clearly can't exist in toxic situations, right?
No, otherwise somebody wouldn't be there.
Somebody wouldn't
Somebody
be.
would say, I don't want this for myself.
And that's a boundary. That's a true boundary. I don't want this for myself.
So most of the people that I work with, we're actually codependent. And codependent people, we are the habitual people pleasers. We can anticipate other people's needs, oftentimes without them even saying anything. And so, because we are people pleasers, we struggle with having wants. I can ask you what you need and you can tell me all the things that you need, but you're also going to filter it through Like, can you need it, through other stuff before you actually tell me what you need? But I can ask you what you want, and most people, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Because even with your wants, you got to filter it through. Well, I can't want a house that big because I said I was going to stay over here on this side of town. And I can't really want a car that big because I don't even have a garage to put it in. So we filter our wants, and we've been taught that like you're a Barbie or a diva if you want too much. So it's not even really cool to want.
Wow. It's not even cool to want. And so you think that could be a contributing factor to maybe like staying in the toxic relationships? Like you don't even know what you want, so what you have is just gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Don't even know that you can have the big car or the better person or the healthier person. So you just like, oh well, I'll just settle for this girl, this guy.
Right. Right. Because if I'm asking you what you want and we're dreaming, you can dream of a house with a garage. Like you can expand the dream. But sometimes because we don't know what we want or giving ourselves permission to want more, or we've limited our wants. Some people will say, well, I know I'm not really that cute. So, the likelihood of me finding somebody that looks better than them. So I'm going to stick with what I got.
Wow. Wow. And I hate that for us. I hate that.
know.
Well, I hate that for anybody who feels that way or think that way.
Right.
But that's real talk, though. And then when you think about about Black women, educated Black women, they're saying we're the most educated population and also the most single, right? And for a lot of Black women, one of the biggest desires is to be married, right? To have a husband, to have children, or just to be in that loving relationship. But for some odd reason, it's not happening.
Well, also because we've been told that our value is based on whether or not somebody chooses to be in a relationship with us. And that's not so. So some women hold off. Like some women hold off on buying a house because they're waiting until they get married. How about you just dream past that? You can buy the house that you want now. And
Yeah.
then when you get married, y'all can get one together.
Yeah. Rent one out, sell it, whatever you want to do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The house
don't
you gotta
limit
be there.
yourself for the unknown.
That is true. Don't limit yourself for the unknown. And so, what do you think are key ingredients for healthy relationships? And we'll go from friendships to romantic relationships.
Self-awareness and insight.
What they say? Tell me more about
Self-awareness,
that.
self-awareness, insight into your self-awareness, and acceptance. There are certain things about me that I know, like if we're friends and you hate people that can't never be on time, we can't be friends. Because
Shout out to my friends for knowing me. I be trying hard. Lord knows I do. I be trying.
because like I think about time so much that it's too much. But let me hold on just 1 second. I need to turn my downtime off.
So
Okay.
shout out to my friends. Like, okay, friends, do y'all see that it's not just me? And I do be trying, but like it just
And so if you're gonna punish me or punish our friendship because I struggle with time blindness, then we're probably not gonna be able to be friends. Because it already makes me anxious and it already makes me be on guard. And I already shame and guilt myself about it. So I don't need extra help with it. And
speak to
and
my
that's
life.
been that's become my boundary.
Now look at me over here feeling all validated and excited because and I had to learn the language, right? Okay, expanding that vocabulary. Like it's real. And when I found the word time blindness, because even in like job interviews and stuff, and they're like, what's your greatest weakness? Baby, listen, I be thinking I got time and I don't. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't be working like it do in my head. Like, I'll get it done, but like, if you wanted them 8 o'clock on the dot, that's another reason that this live starts at 8:05 p.m. The straight up and down hour makes me anxious. Like, I would, if I can avoid scheduling anything at a straight up and down hour, I do. So I'll even go the extra 5 minutes, because at 8 o'clock, I got 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
can't explain it other than the time blindness, but that's what it is. And learning to verbalize that, right? And not
Yeah.
look, like you said, I'm already like literally beating myself up, like, bro, come on, why we late again? I'm trying. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna hold that against me, then yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my own car, my own, like, all that. Because if you got to leave me, baby, trust me, I'll meet you there. I'm absolutely okay with being left.
Yes. And
Because
I'm
it's
gonna be a
what it is.
blast when I get there. But I might be 11 minutes late.
Yeah. And I
Or
promise I was trying.
27. If I'm closer, the later I am.
Hey, twin. Listen. And then too, learning the language is essential. There are some people who will respect that, the fact that you can. There are some people who won't. I actually said that to a person, and they said to me, "Oh, so you just do what you do what you want to do." And I was like, that's not what I just said to you. That I'm really trying to help you understand, because you're gonna ask me to go places with you, and we're gonna have to. I'm telling you that sometimes you
I'm
might get a
gonna
little
need your help. I'm
irritated.
gonna need you to be like, if it's at 7, you can go ahead and start getting ready at 6:17. Like,
Please
you
give me
know,
the wrong time if you want me to be on time.
I need help. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. But yeah, I almost drew back from it, right? Because that wasn't the response I was expecting. But my boundary is making sure that you understand who I am, or giving you the information about who I am. Now, what you do with it is up to you. I said what I said. And this is some truth that I've learned to live in. And then, even navigate around, like you said, it's already hard enough. Bro, I
Mm-hmm.
ain't about to get that from you too. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a boundary for me, right? I know who
Mm-hmm.
I am, and I respect other people's time, because some people, when you talk about friendships and relationship, they'll cut you off, right? Like, I don't want to talk to you no more because you're always late, this, that, and third. Bro, this is not about you. I'm not late because of you. I'm late because time blindness is a real thing. I thought I had 30
I'm
minutes, bro.
like, because I thought I had 17 minutes. And them 17 minutes turned into 27. Like,
They
yeah.
did. They did. They did. And I'm already working on it, so leave me alone. You're absolutely
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And with that, social connections. Um, what are your thoughts about boundary, building social connection? So for me, moving from a more close-knit setting, instead of saying small town, more close-knit setting, to a larger setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I live now, it's large compared to, Memphis is big compared to where I came from, but this is even bigger than Memphis. And so building social connections has not been easy. And I'm a person, I realized since I've been here, I need social connections. I do not thrive in isolation. I do not. That's just not me. I need my charge time, but I
Mm-hmm.
also need my time around people. So what are your thoughts about social connections, and then how to even set boundaries? Because there are sometimes when you get in those social connections, you got the introverts and you got the extroverts, right? And just having that
Mm-hmm.
good balance in those boundaries in those places. So what are your thoughts about social connections?
I think I had read this book once. I forgot the neurosurgeon's or neuroscience's name, but he wrote it with Oprah. I think it's called What Happened to You. And in that book they talked about
Is it
how
Toby?
the pandemic was hard for a lot of people because they realized that they need community and social connections too, but they had never really paid attention to it before. But they also learned that people were shamed for wanting to feel connected or wanting to be a part of a community. And some people don't get it, especially moms, we think that we're supposed to be independent and we're supposed to be doing it by ourselves because that's what society makes us feel like. You're less than if you can't handle it by yourself. But we're physically and emotionally not designed to do life by ourselves. We're supposed to do life with other people. Our nervous systems depend on each other.
I'm so glad you
So,
said that.
yeah, so people just figuring out what they need and how they need it. Sometimes church is enough. Sometimes church and participating in an activity or two at church, or sometimes joining like a professional committee or something like that, or a book club. It's always a book club. Finding something that you might be interested in and trying it to see, but also like paying attention to the energy of the people in that group. Book club is low maintenance, low requirements.
Yeah.
That's sufficient for me, but I also like having somebody looking for me, kinda, but not really.
Yep. Hey, we missed you. Oh, Gary, yeah, I missed y'all too. Like, oh, you missed me. Yeah, but not the hey, where you at? We
Yeah, not like it ain't no pressure.
Yeah.
You coming next time? Okay, well we'll be looking for you next time.
Mhm.
So that's what I need because I'm doing that in other areas of my life. So in my free time, I want to connect, but I don't want to feel pressured.
Yeah. Definitely get that.
So
Definitely.
also, people just like practicing who you want to be in different scenarios and being courageous enough to say any meetup group is a group of people looking to meet up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
usually other solo people looking to meet up. So it's not weird because the group exists.
The group, yep. And you're not the only one having this challenge or this struggle. So
Yeah.
people
And
find
as
us
we
out.
become, more adults we isolate more. So you got to make plans to make plans.
Yeah. It literally has to be put it on my calendar. Yeah, we done made it to grown life. Like, baby, put it on the calendar, put it on the sticky note, put it somewhere. Because if I didn't write it down,
It didn't
it
happen.
ain't
And
happening.
it's not going to happen.
It did not happen. So, as we talk more about social connections and relationships and boundaries and things like that, social media. Some people, social media is the devil. It needs to go away. And then there are some
Mm-hmm.
people who they have businesses on social media. They have social connections on social media. Like they leave social media alone because the whole TikTok breakdown for the couple of hours and the people were distraught
Mm-hmm.
and literally distraught. Like the baby burned the congressman's office and they were calling 911 because TikTok, the people were calling 911
So
because
I'm one of
TikTok
those
was
people that cleaned my phone out and I deleted about 20 apps off my phone, including TikTok. So I can't get back on there.
well,
But
there's a TikTok university and there's a Hillman university, but that's another conversation. That again, the people who see the benefit in social media. That's what my timeline looks like right now on TikTok. Like
mm-hmm.
you got people coming out of the woodworks teaching courses. There was this black professor. She was teaching African American studies, and she was creating it for her actual students.
Mm-hmm.
She made a TikTok and then realized like all of us was going to see this post, and so she made her page private because it literally was for her college students. But we all done enrolled in your course, man. We trying to get African American studies, and so she was immediately overwhelmed and like did not expect that. And so behind her, oh my God, it's a whole school now. People are
Oh
teaching
wow.
everything, and they're black. You got
Oh.
one girl asked her daddy. He teach African American studies. So to replace this lady, this girl asked her daddy would he teach the course because he taught it for over 30 years. And so she was telling him what happened. And so now he's teaching African American studies. So now daddy had to make a TikTok so that he could teach African American studies. So
Mm.
again, it has this thing, it has this place if you know what to do with
Mm-hmm.
it. And then there are those who do not have boundaries or healthy boundaries with the social media platform. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it consumes them. More consumption than actually using the platform what it's for. But if we
Mm-hmm.
talk about boundaries in relationship and social media, what are some words of wisdom that you would give to adults and children? Because adults ain't no better than children.
I continue to work with myself on my boundaries with social media. And so the our phones have all kind of apps and bells and whistles to help us manage and navigate that. I did had to my fast when I did this most recent fast, it was fasting from scrolling.
Mm,
Like not from being on social media, but just mindless scrolling. Oh, that's cute. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Girl, no. Just scrolling. Like, wait, what am
yeah,
I doing? And when do I stop?
yeah, yeah.
And
Doom
so,
scrolling, they call it.
yeah. And if you got time blindness, before you know it, you've wasted an hour of time that you could have been doing something else with. So I think, just being aware of what you're doing and are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Something that helped me was somebody said, look at you on here looking at me working. It's like,
Yeah, you
let
get some
me.
call outs every now and then. You get some call outs every now and then. Or the one that be like, hey, you're scrolling again. Girl, bye. I know what I'm
You're
doing.
right. You're right.
So yeah, just utilizing those barriers that they've put in place to protect us from it. And then again, it's like we said in the very beginning of the conversation, taking your power back.
Yep.
Right. How does it make you feel to be on these platforms for this amount of time when you really could have devoted that time to something that could give back to your life immediately or
And
long-term?
right. And also giving yourself permission to do it so you don't feel guilty when you do it.
Yeah, that is
Cause
true.
it's gonna happen. So you might as well give yourself permission to do it. Just being mindful of how you do it and how often, and sometimes being mindful of why you do it. Are you doing it to avoid something? Um, are you doing it as a part of your wind down and relaxation? And is it actually working?
Yeah. I know for my Instagram, um, I don't even remember when I said it, but I'm glad I said it because when it comes to time, it's like, well, you're at your limit for Instagram today, and it's getting ready to, pretty much shut you down. Like you get ready to go into sleep mode, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what if I want to go in sleep mode? But then I think about the reason I did it and what it is and why it's done. So I was like, you know what? Let me go and get this last little scroll in. And after that, I'm done. My Instagram shuts down. I can't respond to anything. I don't see anything. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll be back up when that timer goes off. And so same thing again from my phone, 10:30 p.m. Grayscale,
Mm-hmm.
sleep time. And it's like that until 7 a.m. And so for relationship, social connections, all those things, those boundaries are necessary. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a gate than a wall. It's
Yeah.
protecting you and the people that you let into your space. And that includes social media.
Yeah. And you are managing your energy. You're managing the energy that you allow to influence you because that influences the energy that you put out. And if you know that you are, a dope person, then everybody does not need to have access to your energy. You should be vetting people and you should be filtering people. You shouldn't be, well, I'm friends with everybody. Why?
Why? Yes. Why?
And are they friends with you?
That's such a real question. That's such a real question. Oh, everybody know me. I know. No, no, I know everybody.
But do
But
they
does
know you?
everybody know you? Nope. Heard about you, seen
Hmm.
you, heard about you through somebody else. Somebody else saw you over there, but nope, they don't really know you. They don't
Hmm.
really know you, and they shouldn't, right? Everybody, like you
Right.
said, should be a luxury for people to have access to you.
Right. And the best illustration of that is Beyonce. Like Beyonce don't even like if she responds to her haters, she gonna get paid.
Yeah, yeah.
And both times you heard what she said.
Right, Mrs. Carter.
Right. You so even when it comes to my anger, you got to be vetted for that too.
Man, they say what they want about Beyonce, but I do. I love that. And when you think about it, and then too, I didn't intend to be in the space that I'm in, but I'm here.
Hmm.
And for me, the boundary at one point, I was like, I think it was Eric Thomas that was like, don't read the comments. Like you should be working on something, but you ain't never reading the doggone comments. And so I was like, you know what? Stop reading the comments.
Okay.
Unless there's something in there that you need, but other like just stop reading the comments. And so just the way Beyonce has produced her life, like you don't see no arguments back and forth. Even with the Jay-Z and Solange situation, the girl ain't said one word to this day. Nowhere, one word, doing her thing, moving on with her life, getting her money, doing what she got to do. That's a boundary.
Well, they did talk about it in the elevator. I mean, she said something about, what, 3 billionaires in the elevator.
Mm,
They
mm.
responded. They let us know that they heard us, but
There's
we
a
gotta
way.
pay to hear it.
That's it. There's a way. Put it behind that paywall is what they be saying. You want to know how I really feel? Let me put it behind that paywall.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, let me put it behind that paywall. If you want to know how I really feel. And again, when you've gotten to that place, and I understand that now because I wanted to be so likable by everybody, want to do everything right, and bruh, listen, I'm gonna do what's in the best of my will to do what is right towards myself and anybody else,
Mhm.
but to intentionally just want everybody like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because
Yeah.
I don't like everybody.
And we're not giving people the shirt off our backs.
Nah, I'm gonna need my shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need my shirt.
I give you an extra shirt that I got. If I
But
got
I'm gonna keep
one.
this one. That's it. I'm gonna keep this one.
Yeah.
So amazing conversation. Is there is there anything that you would like to share with those that are listening about ways to contact you? Any information that you activities that you're working on, anything like that that people can be a part of or patronize?
Okay. I can be found at stoppingthechase.com. That's my website. And you can find out more about me on there. I also have a journal, a Bougie Boundaries journal. I think it's on Amazon now. And I have a retreat in September going to Bali. And I'll probably be posting information about that tomorrow. I'm doing a rebrand and I am enjoying being in this space. And so feel free to connect with me, Montoyia, and Bougie Boundaries Therapist on all of the social media channels.
Okay. And the Bali retreat, is that girls only, guys only, mix, boundaries? What we doing?
I am going to Bali, and others are welcome to come with me because I'm going to experience it for me. So I don't really want to feel like I'm the host, but a travel agent put everything together.
Got it. Okay. So
So it ain't no, it's just whoever want to go.
that's it. That is it. Well, listen, if you want to go to Bali, if you got your passport, stop in the chase. Okay. Montoya Count. She's tagged in this post, in this live. She's tagged on the post that I made earlier. So go ahead and connect to her social medias. If you're looking for a therapist, want to learn how to set those bougie boundaries, here you go, here you are. And then too, if you just want to learn how to take care of yourself, like I said, when I watch her content on her page, it's just watching her learn to take care of herself and express out loud that I'm gonna take care of me. And so as a Black woman, as a those strong friends, strong women type thing, it's just good to see somebody show you how to do what you need to do for yourself.
Thank you. I
You're very
appreciate that.
welcome. So don't stop that chase, but we're gonna stop chasing the
Right.
toxicity. We're gonna stop tasting the poison, but we're going to, chase set those bougie boundaries. We don't have to chase. We're
Hmm.
gonna set those bougie boundaries, um, and we're gonna live a healthy, happy, successful life.
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions for me, or is there anything? If you had to leave the crowd with three last points or three last thoughts, what would they be?
It's okay to have wants and desires that are just for you. and it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to not give everybody access to you and your resources. And the boundaries are so you can enjoy life. The boundaries are so you can feel what it's like to get closer to the kind of quality of life that you want to have. And it takes a lot of courage. So have support when you're enforcing boundaries.
That's good. That's good. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
for
taking
allowing
some
me to
time
be
out.
here. This was a good conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for making space and thank you for having it. We want to give you back to your wind down time. We want to respect those boundaries, give you back to that wind down time. But thank you.
Okay.
If you ever need anything from me, you know where I am. Just reach out, let me know. And thank you for sharing in this space. Did it? Uh-oh. Did it freeze? Did it freeze? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay. I was like, did it freeze? So no, I would just give you your time back for tonight, giving you back to
Oh,
your
okay.
winding down. And so yeah, just again, thank you for sharing space with us, and we'll see you on the other side.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, guys. That's tonight's live. I'll be totally honest. I don't feel well at all. But thank you, Montoyia, for coming through, teaching us about those bougie boundaries. Listen, the boundaries are not to keep people out, but it's to set the tone for those that you let inside your space. Expand your emotional vocabulary, right? Go beyond happy, mad, sad, angry, jealous. Like really sit in your feelings and understand what you're feeling, why you're feeling, so that you can verbalize that to the people that you love and that you care about, so that you can get the best results from your life. Okay. So this has been Mental Health Mondays. I hope you enjoy it. I know you enjoy it. You can always drop comments even after the live is well, at this point, it's posted on YouTube. So head on over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions beyond this conversation, you can post them there. This has been the Light Room. Good night.